welcome to another episode of the Soup Bowl, where we talk about leading our lives and how things get messy, right, when we're doing it, right? Even doing it the right way or even the wrong way, right? It can still get messy. So, hey, that's why we're in the Soup Bowl. We're here to talk about it. We're here to learn together and grow together. I am your host, Renee Murdoch. I am so grateful that you are here, that you are liking, that you are subscribing, and that you're going on this journey with me. And I am so happy to be going on the journey with you in this thing that we call life. Hey, we out here, we trying to make it, we trying to do it, we're just going through our day, right? And we're just taking it day by day. At least that's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be overwhelming ourselves, right, with things that we have no control over. I'm just saying, hey, let's just know that when we talk together, when we muse over things, when we meditate on things, that is what's going to display, right, in our outer actions, in our behavior, in our conversation, in our movement, right? Because whatever is going on in the inside will display itself on the outside. Whatever's going on in the inside will display itself on the outside. Whatever's going on in the inside will display itself on the outside. So I had to say it 3 times because, we need to get that and understand that. Because you can only pretend for so long. So you remember okay, let's just go here. So you remember how when you were dating someone and it's all good in the beginning, they're being so nice and so kind. And then after a while, they start doing certain things, whatever. You're just like, well, hold up a second. We weren't doing that before. What do you, because you can only fake it for so long. So whatever's really going on in the inside, wherever your heart is at, that's what's going to display. That's what's going to be said. That's what's going to be, in your behavior, the way you move. So, whatever someone is showing you versus just telling you, you better believe whatever it is. Don't be like, oh no, that's really not them. No, it is. At the moment it is. Right? We're growing, we're learning, and people do change. But at that moment, that is who they are. And you better believe them. You better believe them. All right, so it kind of just gets into one thing that I think is very crucial as we are growing in life, if we want to grow. Because I think we all want to grow, and we do it naturally within our physical bodies, right? We grow, right? We go through the stages of development, right? From this infant state, right, into all the way up into our old age, if we're here that long, and then we kind of, go back right into that infant state almost. But we're growing physically, and that is just the way our body and our makeup was designed to be. When you think about your mental, right, that is something that does not just come natural. That is something that is poured into through different channels that gets us to a certain state of maturity. Because you just don't automatically become mature in your thinking based upon your age. You do not become mature in your thinking based upon your age. Okay? Let's just let that sit for a moment. Great. Okay. So now I'm going to need you to muse over that some more when you get off of this. Okay. So just think about, when you were in elementary school, right? Or just even in junior high and going into high school, and all this information that they're giving you, right? And then you're making it on to the next grade because you need to learn how to read. Well, first of all, you need to recognize letters. Then you need to recognize the sound. Then you recognize how they're put together into your words. Then you begin to read, right? Then you begin to write, and you begin to formulate sentences on your own. Then you're realizing how those sentences are made. So all of this, we can just continue on into this part of in our learning when it comes to schooling, right? And now you get to a certain stage, right? You just can't graduate high school without going through elementary. I don't care if it was a day, okay? If you're a genius, right? No one knows that until you actually get in the space. And they're like, oh my gosh, this person is just beyond, right, where everyone else is at. We need for them to skip grades. We need for them to, move along. Well, when you think about, again, growing in our mental and our thinking, there needs to be some learning. We need to position ourselves to be learning, to be teachable in all things. We do not know all things. I'm not going to keep saying that, and I know you're just like, I get that, Renee. I understand that. I'm going to keep saying it. And the reason why I'm going to keep saying it is because although we know it, we still don't act like it. Although we don't know, I think this might be the episode where I just keep repeating stuff. I don't know, because it's really important. Because if we really knew it, then we would be unashamed and ask questions. We would be unashamed and say, hey, I don't know. And the funny thing about it is that you're pretending as though you know, and then other people really know that you don't know. And everybody else in the room knows that we all don't know, but we pretend like we do know. And no one's like brave enough to be like, yeah, I don't know. Let's go ask such and such. I don't know. Let's go look up such and such. And that is becoming what we like to call egos. Also, that we are not putting ourselves in a position to be teachable. Because if I know someone that has went this way before, experienced this before, I might be inclined to ask them questions. Hey, how did you do that? Hey, when you did such and such, how did you navigate through this particular thing? What was your resources? Do you mind sharing that with me? And then we have the people on the other hand that don't want to share. Like they just want to just remain closed and they want to pretend like ain't nothing going on or ain't been through nothing. Come on now. Come on. We have to be more open both ways so we can learn and grow together. And there's this thing that, again, we say we know, but we really don't know. See, I think I said this before, but I used to tell my daughter or any other young person, right, that I was around, don't say I know, because you don't know. That's a cuss word around here. That's strong language around here. That's a no-no, because you really don't know, but your answer to everything is, oh, I know. No, you don't know, because if you did know, then you wouldn't have just did that. You wouldn't have said that. So, do you really know? I don't think so. I don't think you really know. Hey, Muscle. Hey. Hi. He's always trying to get shine. I don't know why. But, okay. These fur creatures, there are. So anyway, but we tend to think that we can go through life without any pain, without any, air quotes, suffering, as we like to call it. We want to go through life and we want it to be, dandelions and rose petals and waterfalls and, wonderful smooth sand and, blue water that, you can see right through. We want the sun to rise on us and to set on us. We want the sun to beam down upon us and we get that vitamin D. Yeah. And no, life is not like that, right? There's rain, right? There's thunder. There's lightning, right? There's snowstorms, there's blizzards, there's hail. I didn't cuss, but there's hail, right? There's flooding, there's mudslides, there's hills and mountains, smooth roads, bumpy roads, potholes, gravel, asphalt. Like, we got it all, people. We got it all out here in this life. And we can't just think that everything is just smooth sailing. We can't think that everything that is going on around us is trying to kill us, that's trying to prevent us from getting to our destination, for being in our purpose. We have to stop blaming who we like to call the adversary, those of us that are believers, those that are not, who like to blame other people. Could it be the choices that we make that may cause us to be in a particular space? Or could it also be that this is just part of the process? See, we don't never want to give credit to the process until after we went through the process. If we went through it, because a lot of us are avoiding it. But we want to blame it on other things when the blame should just remain where it stands. And that is, hey, this is life. And I'm going to have to go through some things to grow through this thing we call life, that I may be able to press upon others that, hey, this is how you get through this thing. This is how you do this thing smarter and not harder. But no, no, no. We want to take detours. We want to, chart our own paths. We want to, try to go around the mountain to get to the other side, other than just climbing it and then going down. Which that path was the intended path. So no matter what we do, you're going to end back up on the path that you're supposed to be on if you're going to be in your purpose and if you're going to be in your destiny. We were never promised no pain. We were never promised no suffering. But what we were promised was life. We were promised life. We were promised goodness and hope. We were promised a plan that is well for us and not against us. Yeah, we were. That is the truth. That is the truth. We don't want the truth. We want the made up version, right? We want to, Scotty beam us. I don't even know if I'm saying that right because I don't really watch Star Trek. But, when they used to get beamed up and they would just go into another place. We want our life to be like that. We want to just, beam up and boom, I'm there. And then now you're there and you can't handle there because you couldn't handle here. You're not strong enough over here because you didn't go through the process to get your strength to bear over there because you couldn't do it here. So for instance, if I've never driven, right, a long distance, in a vehicle behind the wheel, and I think that I'm going to just get my license one day, then the next day I'm going to get on the road and I'm going to drive across country for 14 hours straight. but I never read it past 10 minutes. Or I've never, been like, oh, okay, we're going to go there. Oh, it's an hour. Okay, let me drive this hour. You're not just going to arrive someplace. Or even the fact that you don't even go on the road. You're just like, I need to get across the country. And you don't want to endure the time that it takes to get there because you're too lazy to do it. And that's the thing. We have become lazy people. Our society has become lazy. We have become lazy in our thinking. And why have we become lazy in our thinking? Because we don't want to grow in our thinking. We don't want to grow. We want to remain. We want to complain. But we don't want to use the thing that has been placed in inside of each of us. And that is resilience. Resilience to make it through. Not resilience to blame, but resilience to make it through. Understanding that I must go through this pain right now, that I may see the goodness later on, that I may see the results later on. But I can't get to the results if I'm not willing to go through the steps to get there. All you people out there, that want to lose weight. I use this because it's just really big in our society, that they want to lose weight, but they don't go to the gym at any time during the week. They don't, say, you know what, I'm not going to eat out. I'm going to cook at home. I'm going to eat more vegetables. I'm going to drink more water. I'm not going to eat as much processed food. I'm going to start walking daily. I'm going to push myself away from the table, from my desk, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to move around intentionally. That I may begin to see the pounds shed off. That I may begin to see some results. I can't get cuts and muscle tone without lifting weights, without putting in some work. I can't be skillful at whatever that craft may be. If it's building homes, if it's building furniture, right? If it's building up people without putting in some work. We just want it right then and there. We want to arrive right then and there. But then when you get over there, can you withstand it? Can you maintain it? No, you cannot. And you will not. You will falter. Because your mental capacity is not strong enough. So I instantaneously wake up one day, I've been Scotty Beans, and I lost 20 pounds. Okay, I lost 20 pounds. Now I'm in a space literally every day where there's nothing but food all around me. Where my day is so busy, I can't even, I feel like I just need to fall over. So I'm not getting up, I'm not moving around. So the 20 pounds that I did get off of me, I have now gained 40. I cannot handle there because I did not do the work here. And that is where we are suffering the most at, because we're not okay with here. It's not so much of being okay with here, but just so much as like just embracing those moments of whatever that it needs to be for those moments, so I can appreciate there. And I can help other people get there. I can't help nobody get there if I don't even know what I went through to get there. And that's just called remaining teachable. There's some pain there, some mental anguish there, because I want that Twinkie. I want that pack of Twizzlers. I want that big plate of pasta and that big bowl of cereal of Captain Crunch. I want it. I need it. I long for it. I need that iced tea and that soda. I need these things. This is what your mind is telling you. But do you need those things? Oh, I need to go write this curriculum. Oh, but this show is on and I just need to watch it. You watch one episode. Oh, another one's so good. Why do they end it like this? Just one more. And that one episode turns into 2, 3, 4, to the point where your head is hurting. You have a headache now. And it has become late, and you're like, I still have not written this curriculum. See, I'm talking about myself too at the same time here, because I've done this. But I also know how to discipline myself mentally to be able to withstand, other than going to go sit down on the couch in front of this device and consume myself with entertainment. That's what it is. Majority of the time, it's entertainment, right? But we were not promised, again, rose petals for our life's journey. We were not promised that. So I want us to just rethink about how we are growing as individuals and what is it going to really take for us to withstand, to grow in our thinking. And that's going to endure some things of stopping, some things of starting, some things of letting go. Sometimes it's hard for us to let go of some things. Be like, I'm going to use that one day. I'm going to need it. And then the next year comes and you still haven't used it. And then 5 years later, right, your child is going through your closet or whatever, and you're like, oh, you're like, yeah, I said I was going to use that. So I haven't used it yet. We have to be willing to let things go. Those things that are of comfort to us. It's like that blankie, that sippy cup, that pacifier. Them shoes that got holes in them. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to let some things go if we want to grow. And it is going to be painful. And it is going to be challenging. But let me tell you something. Number one, if Jesus endured as a man in the flesh, can endure the suffering that he did, then surely we can. If Nelson Mandela can endure, surely we can. If Gandhi can endure, surely we can. I'm saying these things because these are people who made a decision that they must suffer for the greater good of others. And so they endured pain for others. If slaves can endure what they've endured, and I'm talking about all ethnicities of slaves, then surely you can go through what you are going through now. when you read individual stories, when you hear individual stories of those air quotes that we like to say, made it to the top. They didn't get there overnight. They had to endure some things. They had to make some tough choices. And it wasn't the enemy trying to run them down, but it was the path, right? The path that was charted just for you. Just for you. There's many people that have went through some things so that we may have these things today. And we must ask ourselves, what are those things that we are willing to do so that the future may have what we don't have? And this is what I mean by we have become lazy in our thinking. Because we want everything to be this way, because we see it somewhere else that way. And could it just be so that you are the one that was chosen to start carving out a new way, a new path for others to go behind you? That's why we must have our thinking, our mental open to receiving. Even those things that seem far-fetched and out of reach, we need to be open enough to see what we have not seen, to go through what others have not. See, there was great protesting that went on right in the 60s and the 70s. People were on their feet and pumping their fists and, holding up signs. But in this century, will those same tactics work today? I think not. I think our money speaks more than anything. And our voice and unity speaks more than a sign will ever. So, I challenge you to endure some pain. I challenge you to stop doing some things and then start doing something that is necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. If we are truly concerned about the future of our country, the future of our world, we would stop being lazy and stop trying to do this thing by ourselves. There were so many great men and women behind Martin Luther King Jr., behind Nelson Mandela. There were so many great people working. They just happened to be the face and the name. But they weren't doing it alone. They were never alone in it. They may have sat in the jail alone, but they were never alone in it. And you're not alone. I'm not alone. But can we see that? Can we? I remember I was told on 2 different occasions, right, that you need to stop moving by yourself, right? You move by yourself a lot. And that's true, because I will get up and I will just go by myself. And I primarily like to shop by myself. And they were like, you need your tribe. You need your people. and you need to connect. And that was difficult to, I don't know, it was so much difficult to hear versus like, well, where they at? Where they at? Where they at? And so much of falling in, but being intentional about it too, because they weren't just gonna pop up on my doorstep, right? I had to start being intentional about connections, and then just stop getting up and then just going, because that's what I would do. But hey, we can talk about that more next time. We are surely out of time, but I just want you to know that, we can grow. You can grow, right? But you can't do it without enduring some pain. You can't do it without enduring pain, because we were meant to have it in our lives, and you're not going to get out of it until the day you leave this earth, right? So just rest in that, sit in that, be okay with that, right? And don't blame others when you're, going through. Don't blame the enemy when you're going through. Just, do an honest assessment about what's going on and count it all joy. All right? All right, until next time, I love you. There is nothing that you can do about it. And remember, leading is teachable. Be blessed. Peace.